and I am raw to the bone. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Come on in. Come and get some of these positive vibes. Come on in, come on in. Y'all see the topic. How do we raise our children to respect relationships and commitment? We're going to talk about that, right? Because it starts from when we're young, what we learn at home. But in the meantime, between time, come the fuck on in. She has been through some things. Life wasn't kind, but survival is inevitable. She has been hurt many times, but has given love through her pain. Pain, ouch, has molded her, and yet she stands, growing, healing, and learning to love herself. She is a root planted in the ground, still blossoming and expanding. She is healing. She is raw to the bone. Hey, y'all, hey. Gone for now. But the show just started, y'all, so I'm not going anywhere yet. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, One Reliable Sin. Good morning, oh, that's Britt, the realtor. Mishi Boo, good morning, McCliver. Good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in. I have YouTube set up. I have Facebook set up. Come on in. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Zen, good morning. Good morning, Angel. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Good morning. Come the fuck on in, right? What are we talking about today? Y'all see the topic, but before I get into the topic, y'all know that I have other things to talk about. And so sometimes it's, current events, sometimes it's shit that goes on social media. It's whatever, right? But come on in the meantime, while we're gathering, I want to ask y'all something, right? I saw a story. Well, not that I saw a story, but my cousin sent me this story. And it said mother chops off boyfriend's penis to teach him a lesson after catching him trying to rape her 14-year-old daughter. Admits, I have no regrets. What are y'all thoughts on that? Right? When you hear about crimes where mothers have cut somebody, killed somebody. In this case, she cut off her boyfriend's penis for trying to rape her 14-year-old daughter. What are your first thoughts when you hear something like this? Do you go, yeah, mother? Or are you one of those people that say, well, she didn't have to do that. There was other ways of handling this type of situation. What do you think? Because I'm going to tell you no lie. Hey, Fire One, I'm going to tell you no lie. When I read this story, mother chops off boyfriend's penis because he tried to rape her 14-year-old daughter, I was like, Listen, thank you, Angel. Thank you. Not all heroes wear capes. I mean, I don't feel sorry for the boyfriend. And I feel like when women are in front of the judge, the jury, and they have to, you know, plead their case for cases like this, to me, this is not a case a woman would have to sit on the stand and plead. That motherfucker tried to rape your kid. You tried to cut off his penis. Okay, all is fair in love and war. Case the fuck over. Why is the mama going to jail? Okay, I think I'm back now. Okay, connection issues, y'all. Connection issues. I just want to make sure I'm back. Y'all see me? Okay. Good morning, Pat. Connection issues this morning, y'all. I don't know. Every time the weather is bad, And I got this wire mesh system, but you know, the Wi-Fi just be so shitty. Right? It's because everybody is working from home. Everybody got a fucking podcast. Everybody is streaming. Everybody is playing games online. And our bandwidth is just suffering. So have patience with me. Hey, Natalia, good morning. So Zen said, eye for an eye. You know what? That's one of the crimes I'm not mad at. And you know what? I would never get picked for a jury for a case like that because I'll be sitting in the jury like, I can't wait for this case is over so that I could just say she innocent. I mean, the fuck. They would never put me on a case like that. Okay? Because to me, it's common sense. Like, you arrest me because this motherfucker tried to have sex with a minor. I cut his dick off and I'm in trouble? Like, what the fuck is wrong with the world today? I mean, I'm just saying. So, all right. So, all of y'all are on the same page with me. Georgie says, stop it, Zen. Oh my God, you sound like my man. It's jazz neo soul with poetry. Wait, Zen said, what is the cult music? You know, everything is not for everybody. That is my personalized music, Zen, for my show. All right. It is called neo soul spoken word. It's neo soul category, right? Everybody doesn't like everything. Like, I don't like rock and roll, the fuck. Right. And that's okay. I don't like rock and roll because I don't know what the fuck they saying and banging heads and shit and passing each other around in the crowds. But we all like something different. All right. Um, Cheryl Lee said, good morning and grand rising. I love it. Good morning, Mika Norris. Good morning. Hey, Uhu, Hearts of Fire and her passionate people. Uhu said, hey, y'all. I love it. Good morning. One reliable sin said, there goes the Lord working against the people again. I'm telling you. Blissfully Evolving said, grand rising. A Lorena Bobbitt incident. Yup, basically, she chopped off her boyfriend's penis, all right, for trying to rape a 14-year-old daughter. So all I'm saying is, y'all, you know, I don't condone crime, but to me, that's not a crime. She was protecting her daughter, and well, she was protecting other people's daughters because he tried to rape her daughter. He ain't gonna do that shit again because he ain't got no penis, right? And she protecting everybody else's kids that he might have tried in the future. Fuck that. Motherfuckers like that don't need a penis. I'm just the fuck saying. Okay. And if you meet a man and you find out that he had his penis sewn back on, what y'all going, how that conversation gonna go? How your penis get cut off? I mean, he gonna have to answer for that for the rest of his life. The fuck? I'm not sorry for him. Okay, at all. Nope. One reliable sin said, not innocent because she did it, but definitely not guilty. He's guilty. Well, I feel like she was in protection mode. She was protecting her cub. The fuck? Okay. The fuck? Oh, you like rock and roll? Good morning, Johnny Hill. Good morning. Georgie said, I don't like real jazz. It sounds like instruments are having a bad girls club reunion and they are arguing and fighting. AG loves jazz, right? And I like jazz too, but not like that deep jazz, Georgie, like you talking about, because I'll be like, damn it, the fuck? What what's going on? Right now, I love blues because the blues just talks about all the fucked up shit going on in the person's life that's singing it. I love it. Okay. Zen said, did she give it back to him after she cut it off? Zen, I know. Listen, I know I wouldn't give the shit back because I will hold it. I want to make sure that it's not able to get back on. I need all the fucking nerves to die the fuck out of that penis. All right. I'ma hold it for a while. I'm not gonna put it in the freezer. I'm not gonna try to save the shit, nothing. I'm just gonna sit it out somewhere in the heat, hoping that every fucking nerve in that eggplant dies the fuck off and they can't sew the shit back on. See, if I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna go to jail the right way. After I cut it off, I might cut it in half. Cause fuck that. They ain't gonna give me no more time for cutting it in half. The fuck? I'm already going to jail. The hell? Angel, you are? Angel says she loves music. I'm a musician, so I'm different. Okay. What does that mean when you say you're different? What does that mean? Another thing I want to raise here, y'all. Y'all and y'all pastors in the church. Now, I already talked about that old Pastor Whitehead or whatever, Bishop Whitehead or whatever, that wanted to fight D.L. Hughley for $1 million or whatever. But forget him, right? But the more and more I hear about these pastors and these pastors standing up talking stupid shit, I just have to ask y'all, do y'all pay attention to the churches y'all go to? And how and when your pastor get greedy and start leaning on the monetary benefits of being a pastor, do y'all set his ass straight or do y'all let him go crazy? The reason why I'm asking is because the freak, the Kansas City pastor, he called his congregation cheap and disgusting. Okay, because they refused to buy him a Movado watch, right? He preached in his sermon. It's all over social media. Y'all can find it. Just search Kansas pastor that called his congregation disgusting because they wouldn't get him a watch. He preaching in the church about, oh, there's a watch on sale and blah, blah, blah. I know y'all gonna bless y'all pastor. Who the hell out here blessing their pastors with watches and shit? Like some of y'all, I- that's the shit that make my ass itch when it come to church though, because some of these pastors just in it for the money. And some of y'all that sit in the congregation, y'all just be giving up the money. For what? Like this pastor in Kansas City literally called his congregation cheap and disgusted. And y'all motherfuckers gonna show up there on another Sunday looking for a blessing? See, See, this is, we got to weed out the good pastors that are really out here trying to send a message from the pastors that are using the congregation for the money. And we as people have to be smarter, y'all. Some of y'all are sitting in these churches, sitting in these pews, coughing up every dime of y'all money to satisfy these pastors who don't even respect y'all, who turns around and calls y'all cheap and disgusting. We need help because, okay, I mean, seriously. Oh, oh, listen, I'm not judging you because, baby, I, I'm one of those souls that float around because me and God just has to have to have a personal conversation because I don't have much faith in the church in a lot of churches either because a lot of these pastors are greedy as fuck. I'm sorry I had to say it. Right? I mean, I've known pastors that marry more than one woman at the same time in secret and got busted. I know them kind. Okay. Right. Then I know pastors. What we talked about, Bishop Whitehead, who want to fight D.L. Hughley for $1 million. What the fuck he doing? Don't he have a congregation to help God? Okay. Now we talking about a pastor in Kansas City who called his congregation cheap and disgusting because they wouldn't buy him a watch. And motherfuckers still go to the church. I don't know, y'all. Get y'all coffee or your tea. I don't know. We need healing. All right. Some of these motherfuckers would take care of their pastors, but throw their kids out at 18 years old. Talk about get the fuck out of my house. But you will go to a church where your pastor is begging you to buy him a watch. And if you don't, he call you cheap and disgusting. We got to get our priorities together. The fuck? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. That's my asshole contribution. All right. But today's topic, and I will read the comments if there's any out there, is how do we raise our children to have respect for relationships slash commitment? Right. The reason why I say that is because, you know, there's some shit circling around social media, and I posted it on my page, right? And I said, if you knew, uh, well, my original question was this. Would you tell on your son if he was cheating? Would you tell his girlfriend, his primary girlfriend, that he's cheating on her if that was your son? But for the sake of this conversation and based on today's society, women are doing just as much of the men, right? So I'm going to ask this question this way. Would you tell on your child, whether being female or male, right? If you knew as a parent your child was cheating on their significant other, whether it's their boyfriend or their husband or their fiance, what would you say or do as a parent? I'm asking. The question on social media was simply, would you rat your son out if he was cheating on his girlfriend? All right. That is the question. Would you rat your children out? I'm throwing the girls in there too. Right. And when I saw this question, I giggled a little bit because, I had a son that was a piece of work. And I was like, ooh, now let's see what the fucking parents are going to say. Because when I had my son, right, since I was the fast ass with a kid at a young age, people looked at me and was in shock and in awe of the things that I did with my son. They would be like, oh, I'm not going to do that when my kid get older. Oh my God, I'm not going to do that when I have kids. Oh my God, I'm not going to do this. And now I look at all my friends with kids. Okay, now my son is grown and they had to raise their kids. And I'm looking at them doing everything almost what I did that they said that they weren't going to do, including having to be faced with your children cheating. How do you teach your children to respect relationships and commitment? Is that our responsibility as parents? And would you tell on your child if you knew that they were cheating? I'm asking this question. I need answers, y'all, because when we say we want to do better in our community, when we say we want to teach our children the best, when we say we want to learn from each other and we want to go back to the village mentality, and when we say we need healing, okay, and we need to have better relationship, where the fuck does that start? I'm asking, where does it start? All right. Good morning, AG. Hearts of Fire says, my blessings come from above, not because of my tithing, but who God is. And period. And period. Right? Period. Okay. Hearts of Fire said, my good deeds are as filthy rags. And I hear that shit. Shirley said they use and manipulate the scriptures in the Bible to brainwash the sheep. They do the reprimanding and correcting in the name of the Lord. So how they speak to them as a father to a child. Mm. That's why they say you don't go to church to follow your pastor. He's just a guide, right? But you were supposed to take the Bible and read it for yourself and teach yourself, right? And they also say before you open the Bible, you're supposed to say a prayer for better understanding. When you read the Bible, when you close the Bible, you should say a prayer to hold on to that knowledge. I used to go to church, y'all, but I don't anymore because human beings make my ass itch. They do, right? They do. All right. Yes, protagonist, hit the likes on YouTube. All right. Protagonist is following my thumbs up. I love it. If you joined on IG, give me the hearts. If you joined on YouTube, give me the thumbs up. I got a lot of comments coming in. And so I'm going to catch up, y'all. I'm going to catch up. All right. Protagonist says, I'm definitely snitching. If I know the girl, so baby super, you bet not let me find out. All right, protagonist. So when you say you definitely telling, right? What is your motivation for telling? Why are you telling? Like, what is behind that? I just want to know, right? What's your thought process? Zen said, I don't have kids. You don't need kids to answer this shit. Like, I'm not the person that says you can't answer questions because you don't have kids and you're not married. The fuck? You got nieces and nephews, you gonna tell on their asses or cousins. The fuck? Zen said, I don't have kids, but I can say that my parents didn't teach me that. I learned by example. They cheated on each other, but stayed together and worked it out. They said they made mistakes, forgiven. Okay. You learn by example, staying in relationships. Now, there's two folds to that, right, Zen? And I appreciate that input. There's two folds to that because there's many people who grow up in abusive homes and think that they need to stay in marriages and forgive their partners for abusing them because that's what their parents come from. So there are some unhealthy traits that we learn by example. Right? Not to say that that was an unhealthy trait because we're human beings and motherfuckers make mistakes, right? And we have to learn how to get through them. So I appreciate that input. All right. I'm gonna tell y'all how I used to do my son. I told some of these stories before. All right, let me go over here to IG. Hey, Interior Rue. Um, hey Madison, good morning. Good morning. Teresa Lay, 609. Good morning. Johnny Hill said Bishop Whitehead seems to be a joke, but at least the pastor in Kansas City made a post apologizing to his congregation. But you know what? Johnny, you better than me. Oh, wait, I got a scratch underneath this waist trainer. I still got this waist trainer on, y'all, trying to help my back. I guess in my waist at the same time. Ouch. But when you get an itch under the shit, you can't get to it. Um, I don't his apology. Did he apologize because he said it and he's sorry? Or did he apologize because of the backlash he's getting because it's public knowledge? See, some apologies make my ass itch. They do. Some apologies make my ass itch because what did it take you to apologize? For you to be fucking embarrassed? What did it take you to apologize? And so I don't care about his apology. No, because one day you were up there begging for the watch, and then the next day, the next week when you realized you didn't get the watch, you called them cheap and disgusting. And now that it became public, you want to apologize? Nah, no, 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 no. I don't accept it, but that's just me, right? Um, Protagonist says, if my son cheat and I know the girl, I'm snitching. Okay, Madison says, nope, I would not. That's not my place. I'm an outsider. However, I would have a conversation with him. Okay. So you at least you're having a conversation with him. My question today is, how do we raise our children to have respect for relationships and commitment? Anybody want to answer that? Because the first question I asked was, would you snitch on your child if they cheated, right? And Madison came in. Some people said they would. Some people said nah. Madison said she wouldn't snitch, but she would talk to her son. So my question is, how do we raise our children to respect relationships and commitment, right? In your case, Madison, you're saying you would have a conversation with your child. What would that conversation look like? I'm asking. Protagonist said, I grew up with single mother who only complained about my father and his women. So I just don't support cheaters. Now, if he wants many women, he just needs to keep it a buck. But but I ain't raising no cheater. Mm. Well, this is where we can teach our kids that they have a choice of being in polygamous relationships. I mean, more and more people are doing that. So, I mean, if you have a child that looks like he's just cheating and shit like that, right? Now, I might have a conversation with him and let him know, listen, polygamy is an option. Now, when I was raising my son, I know nothing about no polygamy. That was not. Now, I saw it on TV and reality shows with different culture of people, but not too many black folks was talking about polygamy. All right, they were not. Not that it's not in our culture, because in the African culture, they got more than one wife. They can, all right, in the tribal arenas, all right. But I, as a Black American, was not raised, to understand polygamy. All right. And so I didn't teach my son that there was an option to have polygamy, but my son was a Rolling Stone. All right. And so I wouldn't outright tell on him. But I would have conversations with my son to let him know, listen, I'm a woman, I'm your mom, right? Think about the men that I might meet in my life, right? And if they treated me how you treat your girlfriends, would you be okay with that? And I remember him one time saying, heck no. And I said, what? So you don't want me to have a man like you, but you think it's okay to go out and treat your women the way you do. So what I used to do, because he was young, so I didn't expect him to just have one girlfriend, right? But I also needed him to know how to have respect for his relationships, right? And so these women used to knock on my door, and I used to slam the door. I used to open the door and be like, "Oh my God, wasn't you just here?" And I would slam the door back. And my son would get so aggravated. And I'd be like, "Listen, I don't want this house to be a revolving door of women. Okay, I didn't allow women company. I didn't allow him to comfortably entertain in my house. Now I'm sure he snuck around and had sex because, of course, I became a grandmother at a young age. But how do we teach our kids? It don't have to be snitching, but how do we raise our children to respect relationships, right? Because as adults, when we talk about this pee pee and doodle in the dating pool, right? This started from somewhere, right? And we know that some of it is, I don't want to quote stats because I don't know the stats, but we know some of it is people reacting from their experiences, right? But we know the other part might be attributed to what people have seen growing up and what they think relationships are and what they think respect is in a relationship. How do we help guide our children to have respectable, healthy relationships, committed relationships? How? I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking the fuck y'all. Um, Johnny said, I'm not snitching, but I will talk to my child about how to navigate being in a committed relationship. But ultimately, it's their decision to have to learn on their own. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go up. Good morning. I am Jacinta. Yes, Zen polyamory is a thing. It is a thing. I talk about it often on here. I thought I was going to be able to get into polyamory in my new, you know, after I left my last relationship. I thought I was going to choose a poly relationship, but then I changed my mind. I don't want to share my man. I don't. Cheryl said, I don't condone a filthy betraying act like cheating. I will in no way cover up for them, help them, or save face for them. Tell him that if such is the case, especially while they're under my roof. Now, I'm going to switch gears on this a little bit. Keep running the comments up because I'm still read the comments. I'm gonna switch gears on this a little bit. You know how we sitting here and we say we don't like cheaters, right? We don't want to be cheated on, right? It don't feel good, right? How many of y'all have covered up for your friends and your family members when they want to go out, when they want to go out and cheat, and they tell you to say that they at your house or they with you, but they not with you? How many of y'all have covered up for friends and family members while they go out and cheat? What are we doing as a community, right? And I'm not, I don't have my no judgment cup, but I'm just asking a fuck. I'm not judging though. But how many of y'all have covered? I have covered for a few people. That's my honest. I have covered for a few people. Now, think about it, people. When you cover for a few people when they cheat, and in my lifetime, I'm double nickels, y'all. I've had experiences. The fuck, right? I'm not covering for no one right now, but I have in my lifetime have covered for someone that cheated, right? And so, what role do we play in adding PP and doodoo to the dating pool? What role do we play? Um, Natalia said, I do think there is some level of responsibility as a parent. Come through, Natalia, please. Okay. So we should lead by example, like Zen said. He learned by example. You can provide guidance and be the best example that you can be. And this is why I tell people all the fucking time. Stop staying together just for kids when your relationship is toxic. When you are in a toxic relationship and people think that staying together for the kids is the best thing in the universe, I be like, because these kids are being taught by example. Right? There's a lot of motherfuckers in toxic relationships because they think it's okay. They think that this is what they're supposed to settle for because of what they experience being led by example. Not every example is a good example, but you're so right, Natalia. We as parents have a role to play in teaching our children how to have respectable relationships and commitments. The same way we teach our children how to say please and thank you, we should. I know some motherfucking kids don't know how to say please and thank you. Shame on y'all parents. Okay. But I do think there is a level of responsibility in us parents to teach our kids how to do that. I agree. Interior Rue said, I would encourage my nieces and nephews to treat people the way they want to be treated, but I won't insert myself in any of their situations by snitching. Angels, but you still said you would encourage them, right? See, my question was, how do we raise our children, right? It don't have to be in the way of snitching. That was just an example based on the social media stuff going around, but I took my question a little deeper, right? Snitching is not the only way, right? Snitching, yeah, some people might snitch on their kids, and I'm not judging, right? The fuck. But what are what's some foundation we can add to our children's life that lends a hand to them understanding respectable and committed relationships? Leading by example was one. Talking to your kids. I heard some of y'all say, I wouldn't snitch on my kid, but I will pull them to the side and have a conversation with them. That's teaching them, that's guiding them, telling your nieces and nephews, right? To treat people how they want to be treated. That is teaching and guiding. Those are all ways of teaching and guiding our children, right? Not sitting down, kiki, and talking about, ha ha, is this girl number 3? And what other girl you cheating on? See, I couldn't sit down and cackalaca about stuff like that. Angel said, here we go. I don't teach monogamy or polyamory to my kids. I teach honesty, integrity, and respect. How do you do that, Angel? I love it. How do you do that right? Because monogamy and polyamory is going to be their choice. But how do you teach them the honesty, integrity, and respect? What are some of the things you instill in your kids? I need to know. We need to spread this news because some people might not know. Okay. And yes, Zen, I agree at Angel, so much better. Right. You don't have to teach them monogamy or polyamory. But the key thing is to teach them honesty and integrity and respect. How do you do that? Okay. How? Protagonist said, my people who cheat know I don't get involved. Natalia said, however, once they are adults and have their own relationships, you can give advice, but that is about it. Now, will I tell on my child? The answer is no. However, I will advise my son or daughter against it. Love it. Snitching is not the only way. Some people might decide to snitch on their kid, right? And some people might pull their kids to the side and be like, no, I don't agree with this. See, the thing is what the point that I'm trying to make is there's a population of people, might not be on Coffee But Friends today, but there's a population of people that laugh and kiki and ha ha with their kids when their kids have these revolving doors of women and they think it's cute. Right? Oh, my son is cute. My son is fly. He got all these side women and stuff like that. See, that's the part. Kiki and laughing about shit like that. And then when they become grown ass men and your daughter-in-law is snot nose crying at your house every 5 minutes, and you're like asking your son, why do you keep doing this to her? You have to ask yourself, what did you see when he was growing up? And what did you fucking laugh at? What did you think was cute has now rolled over into his adult relationships. And you don't think it's funny anymore. I'm just saying. Okay, Johnny Leon Hill, you coming on the camera? Let me get my shit situated, cause I know I still gotta work on my guest link. Hey Johnny. Oh, he hung out. All right, no Johnny Hill. I guess he was gonna come on, but then he decided not to. All right, maybe he'll try again. I am Jacinta said, my friends know I ain't lying or getting involved with their foolishness. Cheryl Lee said, and definitely don't cover up for grown cheating. Cheating on an exclusive relationship is never okay. What the fuck? Okay. So y'all not covering up for any of y'all friends. Have y'all ever? Okay, because some of us have grown up, but have y'all ever covered up for some of y'all friends? Hey, Grace Needon. I hope I said that right. Hey, Soulful BBW. Hey, Veronica Madison. Hey, the General. Good morning, so blessed. Good morning, Theo. Good morning. Hit the heart as you're coming in on IG. Hit the heart. All right. Mishi Boo said, our kids learn from us at home, so we need to live by example. Yes, but there's a lot of parents whose households are not great examples. And this is the point that I'm also making, right? We have to make sure that our households and how we are navigating our lives as adults and parents in front of our children, okay, is playing out in a healthy way. Not to say that it is absent of problems and issues, because every relationship, every family has problems and issues, but it's how we deal with them is going to be the key, right? The key. So yes, living by example. Madison said, my son is a relationship ride or die dude, even when it's not working. If anything, I need to teach him to walk away. Uh, well, I mean, he been posting hashtag single. I was like, okay. I was shocked myself because, he seems like a ride and die type dude, right? Good with his kids, you know, you know. Relationships are hard though. They are. I am to say I don't have kids yet, but it would definitely be a conversation in my household. Mm. Okay. I hear that. I am Jacinta said, my brother used to come home with a different girl every month. My grandma sat him down and said, don't bring another girl home with you unless you are serious about her. She couldn't take that shit. Let me tell you something. And this is one of the things that gets me in trouble with my son's women. I have always been the type of mom that I don't fuck around with the revolving door. I don't. And I don't want to meet all your women. I don't. I only want to meet women that you are serious about. So I know his baby mamas, of course, 3 of them, right? But in between there, I've only really known one other girl that I've talked to, and that was an ex when we were living in Mount Vernon, right? All these other fly in between girls, I used to open the door and close the door on them. I don't need to meet them. They don't need to come in my house. They don't need to do anything. And I used to always tell my son that, and he didn't understand that. But I was like, I'm not going to be the mother that is going to condone you having all of these women flying around. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to be the mother that's going to be trying to remember all these girls' names. I'm not going to do that. So if you meet somebody and you're serious about them, then I will meet them, right? And true story, his last girlfriend, it was rough in the beginning. Like she thought, I guarantee you, she probably thought I was a little bit bitchy and mean, right? Because when he, you know, met her and started dating her, it had nothing to do with whether I liked her or didn't like her, or whatever the case may be. It had all the reason that, okay, man, you just broke up with one person and now you showing up with another. I need space and I need time. I need a healing period the fuck too. Okay. And I don't want to meet nobody else until you have been dating them for a while and it's serious. So when he used to come to my house, I used to be like, he used to be like, I have my new girlfriend with me. And I was like, nope, she can't come upstairs. Right? Leave her in the lobby. I don't, it had nothing to do with her. But my son, he forgot that this is how I always been. And his girlfriend took it personal, but it really had nothing to do with her. This is how I raised my son. And I don't care who comes into his life, who the fuck is new, right? I'm not going to change how I move. I don't want to meet a bunch of women. I don't, right? And so when I realized a year later he was still with the girl, then my door was open. I'm just the fuck saying. Okay? That's how I am. And that's how I'm going to be with my grandkids too. Don't be bringing all your women and your men in my face. I don't want to see it. You serious about someone? That's when you introduce them to me. That is respect to me. Like, don't introduce all your women to me because I don't know. In that case, like the level of meeting me has dimmed, right? A woman, when you introduce your girlfriend to me, that should be a big deal. That should be a big fucking deal. Like when a man says to me, I want you to meet my mother, I want it to be a big fucking deal. I don't want it to be, oh, she meet all my women. Mm-mm. Okay. Angel said, I lead by example. I don't lie, not to them and not to anyone else. I show respect even to people I disagree with. I offer compassion and empathy to people even when I'm angry. I give my kids grace and allow them the space to be human. It's a lifestyle. I encourage everyone to read All About Love by Bell Hooks. It talks a lot about this. Oh my God. I have to remember that, Angel. Um, All About Love by Bell Hooks. It's a book. I might get that book. I might get that book. I love that. I love it. See why I love y'all? All About Love by Bell Hooks. If y'all are interested in reading a book, All About Love by Bell Hooks. All right. I'm going to go on Amazon right after this and I'm putting that shit in my cart. Okay. Actually, we should have a coffee with friends book, like a little mini book club or whatever. And once a month or once every other month, go live and have a conversation about a book we read. I love that. Something that's educational and lends to the healing of our souls, right? That's something to think about. All right. But I need somebody to raise their hand and be the leader of this book club for coffee with friends, because I can't do it all, y'all. But I would love that. Like, I don't have a list of books that we should read, but I did write down some books from one of our last coffee with friends, where we talked about some good books to read that I need to put, like Pussy Prayers, okay, Healthy Time for the Body Mind of Black women. Like, these are books that was recommended that I still have to put in my Amazon list, right? So if y'all are interested in doing like a coffee with friends book club, let me know. All right. Let me know, because that lends to the healing and that fosters us to have healthy dialogue. I love it. Something to think about. Right. I understand. To say, sign me up. I need somebody who's going to lead the book club. That means that means, throw out a list of books. Which book are we going to choose? And when are we going to discuss this book? Right. And so if someone wants to lead up the book club, let me know. All right. Angel said the book challenges everything you thought you believed about love. I want to do this. Right. That could be one of the books that we read. That means, Angel, you'd have to reread that book. The general said, I'm not going to front. I covered for a friend before. This was way back though, but I've done it. Would you do that today? I'm not judging anybody who've done it. I've done it too. Would you cover for your friend today? Would you cover for your friend today? In all the conversations we have about healing our community and being better people and loving up on our brothers and sisters, if one of your friends or family members was about to go cheap and they were like, cover for me, would you? I'm asking. Would you? Interior Rue said, the people in my life know I am not covering for anyone. Now, again, I don't tell on people either, but please don't bring your side pieces around me. Okay? Don't bring your side pieces around me. I know that shit is right. I mean, I was a side piece before. The fuck? I mean, I'm not perfect, y'all. I was in my younger years, right? But I'm older now and I'm healing. The fuck? Don't judge me. I always say, and I told y'all this before. I remember I was in an argument and someone said to me, "Oh, you think you so big and bad. That's why you slept with a married man before." I said, "Huh? You ain't saying shit. You trying to use the dirt from my past to throw at me? You trying to throw my own dirt back at me?" I said, "Listen, you can't hurt me with my story, right?" So I got on social media and I told my own story. I was like, "Yup. Now what? What weapon you got now?" See, if I tell on myself, nobody can use the shit against me, because guess the fuck what? I tell people all the time, what is another person gonna do to me if you find out that I done did something? Nothing. Y'all ain't gonna do shit but not like me, not speak to me, not whatever, right? But I gotta answer to a bigger person, a higher being, right? And that's my concern. I don't care what none of these folks say, but I do know when I'm wrong and I need change, and I don't do that no more. That was a long time ago. The fuck? Oh, said my daughter been with her boyfriend for 3 years. He treats her like a queen. I love it. I love it. Hey, Brandilla. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Madison said he is finally single. So he is, because he be hashtagging single. And I'm like, what? I bet, I read the hashtags, right? And you know what? I was like, it happens. The fuck? One reliable sin said, woo, I was the wingman for years. And listen, one reliable said, baby, the fuck? That used to be the thing. But in our older selves, what are we doing? She said, woo, I was the wingman for years, talking to the main girl, side girl in the corner or in the bathroom while my cousin went after someone else or something else. That BS used to have me in some shit. I'm telling you. Okay? I'm telling you. Johnny says, sorry, Raw, on the train heading to Delaware, so the signal is spotty. That's okay, Johnny, but I appreciate you trying to hop on. I do. Interior said, my mom led by example and encouraged all of us to treat one another with respect and tell the truth. She always says to this day, you never have to remember the truth. So damn true. So damn true. You never have to remember the truth. So true. The general said, I once covered for a former friend and even went on a double date with the woman he was cheating with, him and his girlfriend once. Way back in the day, I learned my lesson covering when he tried to cheat with my then girlfriend. What? Wait a minute. He tried to cheat with your then girlfriend. Did she tell you? How did you find out? How did you find out? Hmm? How did you find out? Interior says she didn't condone us having multiple boyfriends and girlfriends at her house. My aunts would cover for my dad and allow his mistresses to sit up at their homes. I didn't understand them, but I do now. True story. My mother gonna kill me for telling this story, but she my mommy and I'll argue with her. She's on her, guess what, y'all? She's actually on her way to the airport. On her way to New Jersey. Yes, mother, come on in, Mama Bear. But anyway, true story. My mother's sister, rest in peace, she's no longer here. Husband, okay, he always, traveled back to Barbados and stayed in Barbados for months, and then he come home or whatever. He loved being in Barbados, okay? And so come to find out, he had a little young girlfriend in Barbados. Mm-hmm. Yup. And my mother had heard her voice. I forget how. The story is very vague to me. Had heard her voice, I don't know, on a phone or something before. And then fast forward, my mother was over my aunt and uncle's house, and she heard, my uncle was like, come and meet my friend in the kitchen or something to that nature. And my mother walked in the kitchen, and when this woman opened her mouth, my mother was like, damn, she sounds familiar. And my mother asked her brother-in-law, of course, her voice sound familiar. Is that the girl from? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, are you seeing her? Like, is that your girlfriend? So my mother swears up and down, or thought that was his mistress in the house, in his house with his wife sitting at the kitchen table. Now, see, this is when Jason and Michael Myers come out. Don't have your bitch in my face. I don't care. Don't do it. Because I'm going to hurt somebody if I find the fuck out. Right? Now, my aunt passed on and she never found out. She never found out. But some of y'all motherfuckers are so brave that y'all bring y'all side pieces right in the face. Mm-hmm. Y'all do it. Y'all do it. Angel said, I love that. You never have to remember the truth. Good morning, Mother. I was just talking about you. Mother, are you on your way to the airport or are you at the airport? What are you doing? Hurry up and get here. Johnny said, I used to tell my mom, don't get attached to her. Not sure how long she's going to be around. And see, Johnny, that is the reason why I say, why do y'all introduce every woman to your mom? Shouldn't you only introduce the women that you think are going to be around, even if at the end of the day something happens in your relationship doesn't work with that woman? But once you believe that this is the woman that's going to be around, that you're going to have a committed relationship with, don't you think that that's the woman that gets to meet your mom? Not every girl gets to meet your mom. How do we raise our children to have respect in relationships and commitments? How do we raise them? What are we teaching them? What are we teaching them? Hey, Doc Holiday. Theo said telling on your child may result in them not trusting you. Great point. And them not feeling comfortable talking to you about anything. Great point. Great point. Nobody else said that. Nobody else said snitching on your child might foster trust issues. See, that's why I never told on my child. I would do little stupid shit like close the door in the girl's face, say I'm not meeting nobody. I would just do shit like that, right? To let him know, no, I'm not fucking condoning that shit. Period. Okay. And then I would have these sidebar conversations with him to let him know why I wasn't feeling the way he was moving. But I never told on him. Right? Because I did not want him to not trust me, but I would do other little whack shit to let him know I'm not for this shit. And then the funny shit is when my man cheated on me, my son wanted to fight. I was like, you want to fight my man because he cheated on me? I was like, remember this feeling. Remember the feeling you have because your mama is on a toilet shitting her guts out and crying snot nose tears because her man cheated on her. Y'all know y'all the fuck did it. Don't act like y'all ain't never snot nose cried and your stomach hurt and you had the shits over your man cheating on you. The fuck? And I told my son, remember how you feel watching me hurt when you go out and think about cheating on your girl. This is what happens. If you're angry because someone did it to your mama, think about that for your girlfriend. I used to tell my son that all the time. Okay? And if you are the type of man that needs to have, threesomes and shit like that, get you a woman. Me and my son talk openly. Get you a woman that's into shit like that. So that when you feel like you want to have a threesome, y'all could go out and shop. The fuck? Do what works for you. But remember that feeling you had when you wanted to fuck up my boyfriend. I'm just the fuck saying. Okay. Theo said, encourage your child to treat people how they would want to be treated. And hopefully they think about how cheating would make them feel and choose not to do it. Right. Right. The general said, I wouldn't cover in a cheating situation today. Nope. So if one of your friends came to you right now and said, listen, I need you to say, I'm with you. What would you say? What would y'all say? No, I'm not going to cover for you. One reliable sin said, I stay the fuck out of that shit now. Too much back and forth. We need more love, respect, and adulting in our community, period. How do we play a role in the doo-doo and the pee-pee in the dating pool? How do we raise our children to have loving and respectable relationships / commitments? And what are we doing as adults with our friends on a daily basis? And are you being a good friend by not covering for your friends all things, because you know your friend gonna be mad at you because you're not gonna cover for them. Interior Rule says, say that shit again. Oh, she told you. So the general, hold up. She told you that your friend tried to hit on her, and then what the fuck you do? Oh, he's still typing. Okay, wait. The general said, funny thing is that then girlfriend also ended up telling on herself, cheating on me with her coworker. Wait, what? The fuck? She had marked on her calendar the day after pill on a day after I didn't smash. She had it on her calendar twice that week. So not only is she smashing behind your back, she's smashing raw behind your back, taking a day after pill and not going to get an STD test. Well, at least you found out. At least you found out. Hey, real sweet potato pie. That sound good. Good morning. That sound good. Hey, Coach Donovan. Wow. How do we raise our children to have respectable and committed relationships? Right? Do we cover up for our children? Do we navigate in our own relationships in front of our children in a respectable manner? Or are we hopping around with different partners and doing different things and our children are watching us? How do we raise our children to have respectable relationships and committed relationships? What are we doing? Interior Rue said, okay, Roar, true story time. Oh, I love those. The fuck? One of my closest friends was married and she stepped out on her husband. She felt so guilty and I encouraged her to come clean with her husband. She did. Worst advice I ever gave. He put her through hell after that. In my mind, I was thinking you deserve honesty in relationships now. Now, see? You know, Interior Rule, men are not as forgiving. I was just having this conversation the other day with the opposite sex. Mm. And I asked him, I said, men, why do men get so upset when their women take their cat for a walk? But men take their eggplants out all the time and we forgive them. Even though we snot nose cry, a lot of times we forgive them, right? Why do men take shit so hard? He said, again, and we've heard it a million fucking times, it's different when women cheat. This is what they say. I call bullshit, but okay. This is what they say. When women cheat from an emotional place. Normally they like the guy that they're sleeping with, right? And so it takes it to a deeper place. There's an emotional connection. Where men, they say a lot of times they just smash him because it's pussy and it don't mean nothing. There's no emotional connection. So the men are hurt because they have lost an emotional part of you when you took it to another man. That's how they look at it. And I'm like, nah, 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 nah. So I don't care, right? Men been walking their eggplant all these years, and then as soon as a woman walk a cat, we're not forgiven. So Interior Rule, if any of my girlfriends came to me, unfortunately, and I'm still working on myself, I'm not perfect. I don't think I would encourage them to come clean with their husband. I would encourage them to stop cheating, maybe go get some counseling, right? Focus on their marriage a little bit more because a lot of men can't come back from that, from when women cheat. They can't. I don't, they just can't come back from that, right? But don't beat yourself up because you thought you did the right thing. You did. You thought you did the right thing. All right. Interior said, I do not insert myself in situations like that as a result. And I can understand that. But a lot of men are not forgiven. Shame on y'all fellas. The fuck? Interior Rue said, rookie mistake, y'all. It will not happen again. I tell everyone to pray about it and do what God tells you to do. Yes. I wouldn't I wouldn't foster telling the husband, or if it was a man, I don't know if I would foster him telling the wife, but I would encourage them to stop and focus on their relationship, right? Because I don't know. That's a sticky one. Johnny said, I didn't bring every woman around my wife. Around your mother, you mean? um, I just played around near the places my mom frequented neighborhood, church, and other places. My mom would come to see and say, "Who is this new girl calling?" Okay. See, I didn't care. I didn't want to know. I wasn't interested at all. Mm-mm. Like, I mean, literally, I just wasn't interested. I didn't want to know. And if I saw them, I would just wave or say hi. They would say hi, Mrs. White, or whatever. But that, uh-uh. Johnny said, my mama, she knew that there was another woman who I was dating. Some women thought getting close to my mom was going to help them get close to me. Right. And that's why I never played with these women. Cause I was like, nah, I know what kind of son I got. The fuck? Like literally, my son is now in the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, settled in a relationship where nobody complaining and carrying on that he's messing around with other women. Like it took him years to grow out of that. And I attribute that to a few things. Being in the Who Scout, giving up a lot of his youthful years where he was supposed to have that free play time. So when he came home and he stepped into the man's shoes, he still wanted to go out and swing his eggplant, right? And so he did that. And then now he's more settled and more calm. He's a different person now, but he went through a lot of shit. I had to hear a lot of shit. Okay. The general says sometimes my life before marriage sounds like the Insecure show from the male perspective. I know that's right. But hey, listen, it is 9:02, y'all, and it is Tuesday, right? And oh my God, I'm so excited that, today my mom is coming. I say that now, but we get here and we get around each other and we fuss and shit. And so we got our first weekend shenanigans this weekend coming outside in what is it called? Little Manhattan or Little Island, New York City or something like that. It's on the West Side Highway. I guess it's a little park and we're going to a picnic out there. And yes, I'm dragging my mother with me. Yeah. So, mother, make sure you wear something comfortable because you are now coming into RAW space and activities. And so we're going to be busy. All right. That's all. But I mean, she always has the option to stay home and chill, but I know she going to want to go with me. All right. And so I'm excited for that, y'all. I'm excited for that. And so 9:02, y'all, you know what I say. Love up on your brothers and sisters. I get these topics from social media, my own personal life. You guys send me a lot of shit or whatever the case may be. And so I bring these topics to Coffee with Friends. But it's not just my show, y'all. I'm the talking head on here, but this show is for all of us, right? And so I'm really interested in that book club. All right. I got to add that other book, Angel, to my list of books that I have here. But I would really like to do maybe, once a month or once every other month, have a conversation around a book that we read and talk about how the book impacted you and why is this book personal to you and what lessons are you taking away from this book and applying to your life. I would like to unpack that shit through some of these books, and that would foster us reading, educating ourselves, right? And also fostering more open dialogue, right? So if you guys are interested, I know I think it was Angel who I am Jacinta said yes, she is interested in the book club. If anybody else is interested, let's talk about it. All right. We would just do a different segment, on here called, Coffee with Friends book club, and it would be once a month or whatever, or once every other month, however long it takes us to read a book. The fuck. And even if we did milestones like chapters, like this month, make sure you read at least 10 chapters of the book. Hot flash, y'all. 10 chapters of the book. And then we come to the table and we talk about that. I would love that. And I would love to read a diversity of books that include relationships, um, between children and parents, relationships in the Black community, um, growth for the man, growth for the woman, sexual books, whatever. A wide range of books, whatever it is, we take interest in. So let's talk about that a little bit. Angel says she's also interested in the book club. All right. Yes, reading with friends. Read We could do a lot of shit. Yes, let's read. Okay. So I'm suggesting that I'm asking for a volunteer. Who wants to be a volunteer to help me with the book club? If anybody wants to do that, just inbox me. And what I would ask is that we collect a list of books that we want to read. We share them on here and we take a vote as to which book we're going to start out with. And then we discuss how much we want to read of that book in time for our first book meeting. All right. And we'll probably do the book meeting in the evening so that most people are from work and relaxed. All right. Angel said, I'll help. I got you. Okay. Thank you, Angel. So I have Angel as a volunteer. And so we're going to make a list of books based on the ones that I have already. And if there's other ones, Yoga Girl Sai, I'm going to reach out to her because she's got some good books that I want to read too. Like I want to inject some African spirituality books because I think above all, it's nothing wrong with getting in touch with our culture. I'm not saying change what you believe in, but understanding our culture a little bit better, right? Okay. And so I'm excited about this. All right. And so with that, y'all know the link is in my the I was going to say the link is in my Bible. The link is in my bio, y'all. Make sure you click the link in my bio and you follow me across all my platforms: Facebook, IG, TikTok, where I do my dances and whatever the fuck. All right. YouTube. If you go to YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up, you subscribe, and you hit the bell so that you know when I'm going live. All right. When you join my live shows on IG, make sure you come in here and you give me the hearts. Make sure you give me the thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure you give me the like on Facebook and you say the fuck hi. All right, I'm here. Right. And so hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have our book reading list, our date for our first book reading night. And I want us to really deep dive and make notes. Come with your notes. Okay. I want each person to have notes as to what's going on. And hopefully we can all share the dialogue, right? That means that each person jump on the screen and they share what they read from the book and how that book radiated in their personal lives or their space or what they learned from the book. Or even if the book didn't apply to them at all, we want to know that too. All right. And with that, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Continue to love up on your brothers and sisters, even when it's hard, y'all. Give each other grace. We are not perfect. We are not perfect. And remember this, I posted in my story yesterday and I said, some people are going to be confused by the statement. I said, it's easier for other people to walk in your shoes, right? But move in your own cadence, right? And what I mean by that is, a lot of us go through situations, right, in life and we go to other people for advice or we vent to other people for advice. And a lot of times we're looking for help and we're looking for guidance, and sometimes we'll have people tell us, well, you should do this and you should do that, or you stupid for doing this and I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. We have to remember that everyone operates at their own cadence. Everyone operates based on what they can, what their ability is, right? And so we cannot hold people. We got to learn to stop holding people to the fire when they don't initiate things the way we feel they should initiate things. We don't execute on things the way we feel they should execute on things. We have to constantly remind ourselves that everybody is different. We got to stop calling other people stupid or whatever because they're not doing things the way you would do it. That's why I said it's easy for other people to walk in your shoes. You know why? Because they're not wearing them shits. So they can always tell you, you should do this or you should do that, or I wouldn't do this or I wouldn't do that, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 because they're not walking in your shoes. So from the outside looking in, it's easy for people to tell you what to do. And that's what I mean when I say it's easy for other people to walk in their shoes because their foot is not really in there. Operate at your own cadence. Don't do anything that you are not comfortable with. I don't care if it looks stupid to the next person. Operate at your own cadence. We have to normalize that we are all fucking different. Period. And because one person does things one way and the other person does things the other way, it is not for us to say that they're stupid or they're this or they're that or they deserve whatever impact that they get. We got to give each other grace. We got to understand we're all different. Okay? And we should never put the pressures on other people to do things the way you feel that they should do them. If they're not comfortable, let them do things the way they're comfortable doing them. That is my message to end today. That is what I meant by it is easier for other people to walk in your shoes. All right. And with that, y'all, I am the fuck out. But come back tomorrow. Y'all know tomorrow is Question and Opinions Day, aka assholes. What does that mean? Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got an asshole, aka it's the same thing to me. But the one thing we do on Coffee with Friends is I don't care whether you like the person's opinion, you're gonna respect it. Right? That's what we do on this show. And the one time that you come out of box and you start being disrespectful, I will block you from this show. This is not what we do here. We show each other love and we show each other respect. All right. And with that, y'all, I am out. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone.
She has been through some things. Life wasn't kind, but survival is inevitable. She has been hurt many times, but has given love through her pain. Pain, ouch, has molded her, and yet she stands, growing, healing, and learning to love herself. She is a root planted in the ground, still blossoming and expanding. She is healing.